Good morning, good morning. Look, the camera's about to go dead. I don't know. I got it plugged in, but sometimes the GoPro don't want to react to that until it's turned off and back on. So I appreciate all the comments on the video yesterday. I want to give a big shout out to Irvin Lawn Services. He's been posting some videos here lately. Well, he's putting in the work, man. So y'all go check out his channel if you can. You know, let's get some subscribers for him, because he does a lot of different stuff like I do. You know, from mulch to mowing to and I think he uses a lot of the or some of the Chinese stuff. You know, the mini skid and stuff like that. Pretty interesting content, really. And he does a pretty good job. But more than anything, man, I like to try to well, empower these guys to do more videos. And you know, when you're doing the YouTube videos, contrary to what people might think, there's not really any money in it. So the only form of payment, if you will, is recognition. So Chad did a video and he was talking about the salary and all. And like I said, you know, y'all know I really like the pay for performance, because the pay for performance to me is that is more of a motivator than a salary. Now, if I had a guy that, you know, if I had 5 crews and a general manager or something, then that would be different, where he's but still I'm going to be wanting to base his pay on performance too. You know, it's hard to do salary with people these days because, well, like Chad was saying, they'll fly through the work, and you know, if you don't get no complaints, well, then you can kind of, you know, feel a little bit better about it. But I'm not sending the guys that work for me to the complicated yards anyway, where there's a lot to miss. But Chad was saying, and there was one thing that he said that I never really thought about, and I don't know, man. Salary just, I mean, straight salary just seems like all the risk is on me, the business owner. You know, I don't think that I could do that in any scenario with guys that work out in the, you know, that work out in the field. You know, like I said, if I had a general manager or something, that'd be different. But or salesman, that'd be different. But he's gonna have to sell. He's gonna get, you know, he's not gonna just get a check and not do anything. And the downside, and I don't really see, you know, for me in my business, and I'm not knocking Chad, because Chad has figured out a way to do, and he has to do a lot of work. But I just don't think that salary is a great motivator of efficiency, because like Chad was saying, you know, they'll file through it, and then, okay, they get days off with pay. Well, you know, if you get, what happens if you get, you know, your time starts, you know, the new year starts in January, and now you're on a salary with blah blah benefits, and you got blah blah sick days, and by the time you get to you know, May, you done used up all the sick days. Well, now what? Because you know during the summer there's going to be sick days. And I don't know, man. And I'm sure that Chad has figured out the numbers pretty good. But, and then on top of all that, you know, and I'm not telling Chad what to do or anything. I'm just giving my opinion, and that's really what the channels and everything is really about. Is how you know, the thinking. And then to know that my guy is this is his last summer. You know, that's what he says. I'm not going to want. I'm not going to. I'm going to. Well, after last year, I'm not going to want to do salary anymore. That's just me. So starting this year, we would have had to renegotiate. You know, I would have done it last year and got through to January, and then on January 1st, I would have had to change things around. That straight salary is not. I think that if you do it based on the work performed, now they can still, you know, go out and rush through the jobs, right? But if you don't get no complaints, it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing, except for the fact that that they're not hurrying up to get done. They're hurrying up to get to the next job to where they can make even more money. On a salary, they're hurrying up to get done. They want to be done with the list, and true enough, you know, getting done with the list is, you know, critical. But if a guy's on a pay for performance and he gets done with the list, you know, at 1:30, then, and as long as I don't get no complaints, then I may be able to add, you know, 3 more properties onto his list, and he can go do them too. And if he's getting paid for salary, he's not going to want to do that. But if he's getting paid for performance, he will want to do that, you know, because he's going to make so much more per, you know, you could break it all the way down however you want to do it, per job or whatever. And a lot of times that can be the determining factor on whether you make a profit the next day. Because if he's on salary and he's over here and he does, and for some reason, whatever, he does them a little bit faster and he needs a little more money, then he can go do 3 more over there. So then tomorrow, I don't have to go over there. Now we can focus everything over here. You see what I'm saying? So, but if he's on salary, he's going to do the ones over here, but he's not going to do them 3 extra ones. See? So then the next day, we got to get up and go do those 3, and then we got to come over on this side, if that makes sense. Now, that's in an extreme case, and I know that Chad is a lot more organized than that on his route density and all that. He's not going to drive way over here and then only to end up way over here unless he absolutely just has to. I know that because, well, I don't have to ask him. I mean, you know, I know that. Us guys that are out here regular and been out here a long time, we tend to do things pretty much the same. There are a few little differences, you know, in scale and density and services, you know, that you can do. But I think that salary for me at this, yeah, I don't really see an salary, y'all. I don't really see an upside to it, man, to be honest. I really don't. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's an upside for the employee. It's all up. All up. But if I can pay him, you know, $10,000 more a year, and him actually go and generate $30,000 more a year or $50,000 more a year by doing it work, pay for performance, and he get 10 of it, then I'm better off. And also a big thing that I see salary versus pay for performance versus hourly. Pay for performance motivates guys to be efficient. It does, because then they get more work done. And then they make more money. The bottom line is they make more money. And they're learning how to do things in an effective, efficient way. Well, Ray, it's just cutting grass. You think that until you get out here with some knuckleheads that don't know what they're doing. And then you're like, oh my God, what the hell? I mean, it's so true. I just don't like to be at at the whim of the employees, I guess. You know, well, Ray, maybe that's why you ain't got no employees. And you might be you might be right. I feel like salary is the employee has all the advantage. There's no advantage to the employer. Not, I gotta say this, got a disclaimer too. I'm talking about for the lawn maintenance guys in the truck that's driving a truck out here cutting grass or sitting in the seat right here. I'm not talking about, you know, someone in the office doing sales or whatever. Though I don't look at it much different, but y'all know what I'm saying. Another thing that happens, I think, with I've never had nobody on, you know, I've never had nobody on salary, not ever. And my business has done this and this over the years, right? Where I've had up to 3 guys out here, 2 trucks going wide open, all the way down to solo. You know, and the reason that is well, labor. But another reason that is because I get more efficient. You know, I drop customers. Customers drop me. They move, die. They get brother-in-law to take care of their property. And I'm talking about in the lawn maintenance. But for me to have a guy that's making, you know, well, $50,000 a year or whatever, right? I'm just not going to do it. And maybe that makes it less appealing, but the most appealing way to pay guys, I think, and that's how you know what kind of guy you got too. You put a guy on pay for performance. Now and he excel at that. He's making more money. He doesn't have to be micromanaged. You don't have to worry about days off. You don't have to worry about him being sick all the damn time. Because if you don't come to work, you don't get paid. That's the, I mean, and so what happens in a scenario, and I'm not saying this is Chad's scenario, but in a scenario where, okay, he's getting a salary, he's getting paid blah, blah dollars every month or however they do it, I don't know. Then he misses, you know, 4 working good, sunny working days. Right, and it rains 6 working days. That's 10 days out of the month that well, he's getting paid for, and but the business is he's not producing nothing for the business to justify the pay. There has to be some kind of loophole for me to as a business owner to bail on some of that crap, because I come from a world that if you don't come to work, you don't get paid. And if you're on salary, I guess I would have to prorate it. You know, that's how I would be. I would be that nitpicky about it. That's why it would be too much trouble for me. If he's on salary, I would have to prorate it on days that he didn't come to work. After he got his, say he gets, I don't know what Chad gives him, but I'm sure it's generous. Say he gets 5 sick days, right? And then he gets the holiday stuff too. Salary doesn't change. But the business is not making no money during those days either. Well, he's not generating no money for the business. Chad might be doing something, but he's not. What happens if he goes through all his sick days in the winter fall? You know, between now and April, May. What happens if he goes through all them? Now you got a guy coming out here in May 15th or whatever, and he doesn't have 1 day left, sick day left. How do you deduct the pay? Because, if he uses them all up before May, and then June 1st, he's out 2 days, and then he's out 2 more days at the end of the month. Same thing in July, same thing in August, and then he might want to go on vacation with his family or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. What do you do then? He makes the same salary, I don't understand, and I know that the Chad just hasn't explained it. I don't understand what happens if he runs all his 6 days out, and then he misses a day. How do you what do you do then? I guess that will be the thing that I would want to know, because most of the time the guys that are working in this kind of work, not good or bad or whatever, they're not mature enough to to keep coming to work. They're not mature enough to deal with their money for the most part when they're making a guaranteed amount of money. I just don't, I'm anti-salary for guys on the ground out here. They would really have to show that they are leadership type qualities, that they can run a truck, and I don't have to fool with them. And that would not happen in a year or two. And I know Justin is from what Chad says, Justin is a really good worker. But he does have, some off the field stuff with getting to work on time and getting to work and all that. Most guys that do this kind of work do, unless you're the owner, but see, me being the owner, it ain't like a job to me. This is not a job. I don't wake up every morning dreading to come to work. I don't. Of course, I like doing some jobs more than others, but the salary seems like it's all win for the employee and not really a win for the employer, especially if the employee is misses days and stuff like that. They miss the prettiest days out there. And then I see what happens. And like Chad said, you're right about one thing, Chad, for sure. When guys start playing games and you're paying them like that, it causes problems. I get a severe attitude when I feel like a guy is riding the clock or taking advantage of a deal that we made. And I feel like Justin is doing a little bit of that. He might not even be consciously doing it. Might be. But if I know he's not coming back, I'm not going to start him out this year at a salary. I just can't, man. And if he wants to quit, then that's just what I have to do. I would pay him. I would do something like this, and this is just a thought. If I know that he's wanting to go be something else, a police officer or whatever, and that's cool. That's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to hold no man back from what he wants to do. So I'm not going to naysay that. That's cool. So okay. So if he wants to be a police officer and he's already sucked up all his sick days and all before we get to the summer, what's to stop him from just quitting on me? Or missing more days. What's to stop that? There's no control there. The owner has no control, and that's where I have a problem right there with me doing that. If he's coming in late or whatever, it's hard to dock his pay. It's hard to, it's hard to make him do what you need him to do when he's already used up his sick days before the summer even gets here. And then, if he's got another occupation in mind and he's for real about it and all that, then one little argument out there in the heat, or one little me like that at him, he might quit. And now you done paid him percentages of his pay all the way up to June, when really he wasn't worthy of that. Just saying. I mean, not that he's a bad guy. I mean, I don't know him, so But what he should be doing is counting his lucky stars that he's got a guy like Chad paying him nice money like that. And what he ought to do is, but they never do, man. They never do, Chad. They never realize what they got until it's gone. You know, and they're gonna try to make sure that you pay that money out no matter what, because they're used to living on that money. If I did a salary last year for him, and I saw kind of, you know, and I saw kind of what's going on without, you know, come this year, I would have to reassess, especially if he told me he wants to be, you know, going to another occupation. Then I'm gonna be knowing that his days are limited out here. I think Chad says something about he's good. He's supposed to, you know, be out here till September. So, but that's not a full year. So how does he get to the salary if he's not going to be out there all winter too? See, there's a lot of things I don't really know. But the salary is okay for upper management and sales and stuff. And you know, of course, sales is going to be more of a percentage. Sales is really more like pay for performance. I don't see an upside, man. I just don't. Well, make sure he comes to work every day, Ray. But that it doesn't. That doesn't make sure he comes to work every day, because he'll miss a day, and all it does is make sure that you pay him when he don't come to work. I don't see a benefit. I would have to have a lot of fine print there on all that. He won't be able to miss, you know, beautiful days and then me paying for rainy days too. Oh no, man, no. We'd have a problem. And you know, I would be prorating stuff, and I would tell him, and if he wants to quit, go on and quit, man, because he ain't gonna find a better job. He's not, because the kind of money Chad's paying him, guys out here that are workers, they don't make that kind of money. They don't. And is he consistent? Well, probably it's as consistent as you're going to get. But when I realized that Chad was paying a salary to him, those are the things that I think about. And then, you know, over the course of Chad doing the videos and all, and I watch them, you know, I've seen some of the frustration that I deal with, but I'm not paying a guy, you know, $40 an hour or whatever it comes out to be. I'm paying the guy, you know, on average, you know, 20. So, well, they can't live on 20. Yeah, but I can't live with them making 50 on salary. So what do we do? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not, yeah. But Chad is a smart dude, so Chad knows what he's doing. And I'm not telling Chad or that he made a mistake or anything. But what I am saying is, for me, it wouldn't work with me because I'm just not built like that, and I don't have as much work as Chad's got. So Chad's probably, and I don't know for sure, he's probably looking at it like this, as an owner should. He's probably standing back and he's saying, okay, we did $450,000 last year, or we did, you know, $400,000 last year, and right off the top, I'll give Justin 50. Now I'm at 350,000, right? And now I got my other expenses. Okay, now throw another 50,000 at that. You know, 60,000, 80,000 at expenses. So now I'm actually profiting, you know, $280,000 a year, something like that. And that's kind of what I think that Chad is thinking when he comes up with the salary, because you couldn't you wouldn't want to do it any other way without knowing exactly or pretty close to what you generate every year. And I know Chad knows all that. So that's a great topic though, Chad, for real. And you did point out a few things that I had not thought about, but I don't really see the benefit, man. And all you guys know, I'm not coming down on Chad or anything like that. I just think that he's doing it to help the young man out, right? To give him guaranteed pay, spreading it out over the year. That's good. And most of the time, I think, you know, guys like me, guys like Chad, you know, when we get these young men out here, we want to school them a little bit, especially on their money skills. Because usually you'll see that if guys are not good with their money, they're not very good with their time either. I'm telling you, look at it, think about it, y'all check that out. If you look at somebody that's terrible with money, right? That just can't. They make money, but they can't seem to bank any of it, and they always are wanting to borrow, and you know, but they make enough, and you know, and all that. If you look at them a little deeper than just that, you'll see that they're not very good time managers either. I'm just saying. And if you're young, a lot of times what happens, they don't have to be great time managers, because they can overcome any mistakes they make with their physical ability. So they make a mistake, you know, they can forget to blow this off, they grab a blow and run back there and blow it, right? Or and no harm, no foul, keep moving. But if they were thinking while they were on the job, they would have done it before they loaded everything up and crunked the truck up and getting ready to pull off before they realized that. So they're not managing their time. And I guarantee you, if Chad were to be on some of the regular lawn maintenance stuff with the guy he's paying a salary to, he will probably see things that he could do better. You know, I always see things that I can do better. And I can certainly see things that other people can do better when I'm paying them. So that's my 2 cents, man. It turned out to be a little longer video than I wanted it to be, but I'm just creating content, man. It's gonna be a slow day today.